Join me while I build a really salty commander deck. Today we're talking about Liesa, Shroud of Dusk. This was another request, but I couldn't find the comment, so hopefully this finds a person looking for it. One of the things about having Liesa in the game is the game's going to start moving fast. People are going to start losing life, and that's okay. Games have to end. I'm always of the opinion 3 1-hour games is way better than 1 3-hour game. She facilitates this. Before Liesa was printed, there was Combal, Consul of Allocation. He only hits non-creature spells, but you gain life as well. This was my favorite black-white commander until Liesa was printed, but he definitely has a home in this deck. Every deck deserves a good pupper, so how about Kunaros, Hound of Athreos? You could just play Grafdigger's Cage, but this is way more fun and gets in there for damage. Blind Obedience is the best card in this deck. It's slowing your opponents down, and with Liesa out and you extorting, you actually net 1 life instead of losing 2 life. Some more important creatures, we've got Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, the best hate bearer of all time, and her Eldritch Moon printing, Thalia, Heretic Cathar. Making non-basic lands enter tapped is just so fun. You're in 2 colors, so you're going to be just fine. And a 3/2 first striker is a real pain to deal with on the battlefield. A couple more hate bears for you. We've got Aven Mind Sensor. Stopping searches is really important. And Archivist of Ogma. Drawing cards when your opponents search is also really important. Alright, the next 3 cards are only if you really have a caring group that wants to keep playing Magic with you. We've got Rule of Law. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. We've got Deafening Silence. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. We've got Archon of Emeria. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. I love all these cards, but in a casual game, they're maybe not great. The tax cards that I've already suggested keep the game moving at a slower pace, but definitely allow you to do your creature thing. These will grind the game to a halt. I just found this card today, didn't know it existed. Spelltithe Enforcer. This is probably super salt-inducing as well. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, that player sacrifices a permanent unless he or she pays 1. Wow. We might as well punish creatures entering the battlefield as well and play Suture Priest. That'll really be the pièce de résistance. Oh, I got one more really annoying piece, Rug of Smothering. It really punishes Storm players. All right, let's win the game. We got Sheoldred the Apocalypse. It's going to sit out there and drain your opponents. Let's murk the table with Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite, buff up all your creatures. Hate bears that are 4/5s and 5/4s are getting in and finishing the game super quick, especially when people can only cast 1 spell each turn. Here's your eject button, Winds of Abandon, overload it, and exile all creatures you don't control. And you get to play the coolest black-white card, Ink Shield. People are going to bring the heat once they know you're trying to slow the game down, but you can fog, make a bunch of ink tokens, buff them with Elesh Norn, and get busy. This will end the game. And the art's awesome, and this is just the coolest Silver Quill card there is out there. Hope this helps. Help with your Sheoldred commander deck? Yeah, we can do that. So Sheoldred the Apocalypse has quickly become a mono-black staple, really just a commander staple in general. And as a lead singer of a deck, this is gonna get real mean real quick. But like I always say, games have to end, and I'd rather play 3 1-hour games than 1 3-hour game. So here we go. Whenever I think of Sheoldred, I think of Dark Deal. Each player discards all the cards in their hand, then draws that many cards -1. Right away, you're just hitting the table for 2, 4, 6, 8 damage each, and that's a great place to be right off the bat. New card alert, Throne of Eldraine. Obviously, you're going to choose black as this card enters the battlefield, and yeah, it costs 5 mana, and my play group would know that I hate really expensive mana rocks, but this gives you 4 mana back right away. So it's going to get you another spell immediately, and late game you're going to start spending mana to draw cards and gain life and put yourself out of reach from your opponents. As a commander, Sheoldred is kill on sight. I don't think it is necessarily in the 99, but definitely as the commander. So you're going to want cards like Not Dead After All and Malakir Rebirth. The same thing, essentially, but also a land, which is nice. How about we turn card draw into lightning bolts against your opponent? Sheoldred in Underworld Dreams does just that. You also get to take them out with a bit of kindness. Saison, Perverter of Truth. makes it so they're not going to want to draw those cards. This in Sheoldred means, including upkeep and draw step, each opponent's going to take 8. Let's get these little Orcish archers into the battlefield. Orcish Bowmaster is a definite include. Punishing draw is always good. Great way to take out the table and give you a giant token as well. How about we stick in a really obnoxious artifact into Teferi's puzzle box? Some people wonder when the trigger goes on the stack. The first thing you do in your draw step is you draw a card. So each player will draw their card for turn, then count that many cards, put them on the bottom, and then draw that many cards again. So this just might take someone out the turn you play it, especially if it's late enough in the game. The Elder Brain was a real punishing looking card when it came out, and it's kind of a bulk rare now, but definitely has a great spot in this deck, and again, probably like a finisher as long as Sheoldred's on the battlefield. Any excuse I can play Braid's Arisen Nightmare is a good one for me. I'm playing this card for sure. And because it's not your commander, it's not mean to make them sacrifice everything, it's just the cost of doing business. Infernal Sovereign is an awesome card. You skip your draw step, sure, but whenever you do anything, you gain life and draw cards, as long as Sheoldred's out. Alright, final card, and he's never going to fail us. It's Starscream Power Hungry. You get the Monarch into the game, which means your opponents will have to draw cards if they want to attack you. You get to play a Transformer, and you're going to draw more cards. So, all of this is win-win-win, win-win-win. Have fun. Apologize profusely as you play the deck, and only pull it out every once in a while. Hope that helps. Recommendations for Obosh the Preypiercer? Yeah, we can do that. Now, I'll admit, I'm not really a black-red burn kind of player, but we can definitely get there with this card. So the meat and potatoes of this deck are going to be odd-numbered cards that deal damage, and ideally we're looking for other ways to double and triple damage as well. Also, since we're in black, we get a nice little Reanimator theme because we have a little combo with a kind of popular card. Alright, new card alert first, Unruly Catapult. Tap to deal a damage. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, untap it. That means it does 2 damage every time you cast an instant or sorcery, and untap it. Fiery Inscription's great, 3 mana, sit on the battlefield. The ring tempts you. Cast an instant or sorcery, and it'll deal 4 damage to something. Here's a fun combo. You get to play Brash Taunter, which of course is one of the coolest 5 mana 1/1s out there. He cares about nothing, all he wants to do is cause trouble. So you lay him out on the battlefield, then you cast Blasphemous Act. He deals 26 to something. That's pretty good. The best burn spell ever printed just got better. Now it deals 6 to any target. Take your pick of printings, there's a lot out there, but the M11 one's really nice. It's just a nice clean text box, and the original art, sorry, the M11 art, not the original art, is really great. We got Torwaki the Younger, which arguably is its own deck, but this does the same kind of thing, and more damage is good because it's way harder to do tons of burn in Commander than it is in a 60 card format. Sin Prodder is a great draw engine in this deck. It's like Dark Confidant, but you get to do the damage to other people. You might not get cards early on, some people will take the damage, but later on they're going to have no choice, and you're going to get to refill late game, which is what Burn always struggles with. One of my favorite 3 drops in an aggressive deck is Scab Clan Berserker. It comes down early, you chip in for 2 and you get Renown 1. After that, with Obosh on the battlefield, anytime someone casts a non-creature spell, they take 4. Let's shove some pirates in the deck and play Angras Marauders. This is a good finisher. Permanents deal double. And since most of your important cards are going to be odd mana spells, that means your permanents are going to be dealing double-double. Speaking of pirates, this is the little guy I think that should be in the deck that isn't an odd mana spell, Dockside Extortionist. He combos real nice with Mayhem Devil, and Mayhem Devil really is a star in this deck. Sacrificing things causes 1 damage to anything you want, which means 2 damage to anything you want, and if you have a bunch of treasures, you can end the game real quick. So you'll want to reanimate Dockside as many times as possible. That means play Animate Dead as well, and cast Malakir Rebirth when someone tries to get rid of it. Alright, and the real coup de grace. You get to play Heartless Hidetsugu, and if you untap with it, you get to take a player out of the game. Wild stuff. So, Obosh the Preypiercer should be a fun commander deck. Going to put a lot of heat on the game, and that's a great place to be. Hope this helps. A stupid powerful Toxrill deck? Yeah, we can do that. All right, what I'm suggesting here though is definitely not supposed to be build up your arms race at your kitchen table. These are definitely going to be CDH level cards, and you really should be asking for consent if you're going to be playing CDH with your team or table or whoever. But that being said, I will take any chance I get to build a Dimir control CDH deck. So here we go. First off, you're in Dimir, so you get to play Demonic Consultation. Very rarely are you firing off one of the Forbidden Tutors for value. This is to win the game. Because of Commander's makeup, it doesn't really matter what card you name. With the Thassa's Oracle on the stack, your deck's going to be empty. Along with that, you get to play Tainted Pact, same kind of idea. The building restriction with Tainted Pact, though, is you only get one card of each name, including basics. So the most basics you can run in the deck is 4. 1 island, 1 swamp, 1 snow-covered island, 1 snow-covered swamp. If you don't do that, you will hit a repeater, and that stops the Tainted Pact line. Both those cards play with one of my favorites, Thassa's Oracle. Empty your library, win the game. I know right away lots of people are going to say, "Oh, that's boring. Ooh, that's boring." Well, playing stupid powerful decks isn't about playing convoluted lines. It's about being efficient and taking care of business. This is a control deck at its heart, so you're really just preventing the table from doing stuff and taking it to the house once you got your combo in place. You're in black, so you get to play ad nauseum. Your best and biggest creature is in the command zone, so we're got a CMC that we can go after and draw most of the cards in our deck at instant speed. If you're holding Reanimate, you get to play Toxrill for 1 mana at some point, which is kind of nice because people are going to try and remove him. You get to play all the fish, so Mystic Remora, Rhystic Study, which is kind of a fish, or at least in the Mystic Remora sense, and the newest fish, Talion the Kindly Lord. This card is so oppressive. It's awesome. I never tutor for Talion, but I'm never sad to see it when I draw it. Now, because Toxrill has Sacrifice Itself ability on it, you get to play Dramatic Reversal and Isochron Scepter and create infinite blue and black mana, probably some infinite colorless mana in there as well. This is another win con. Once you've done that, you can cast Toxrill over and over and over again and use the blue and black mana to sacrifice it and draw cards because he is a slug in himself. This will get you to your Thassa's Oracle combo as well. Kind of a classic CDH combo, but definitely powerful. Another way to do that thing is play Hullbreaker Horror. This will be the biggest card in your main deck. If you have 2 mana positive rocks, like a Soul Ring and a Mana Crypt, or a Mox Amber, or a Mox Opal, you can bounce those back and forth and make infinite mana. And again, then you can cast Toxrill over and over again, so always great. Draw your deck, win the game. My favorite blue-black card to shove into a mid-range or control pile is Mnemonic Betrayal. The game's going to go long enough that casting this is going to give you access to 3 really well-stocked graveyards, and that means you're going to get some Lotus Petals, maybe some value creatures, you name it. There's lots out there. So again, this is definitely not just to show your table what's what. This is definitely for some consensual CEDH, but hey, everyone should give it a try. I really think you'll like it. Hope that helps.